Come right, Chino. Good drive. Good drive, movement. That's your Mike. Yeah, you're good, good, nice. Go, Mike, go, Mike. Work. Get out, Chino. Right in now. That's right. Open, open. Go, Mike, go, Mike. Nice, Mike. Back there. Get back there. Go, boys. Win this out. Yeah, David, get open.
Parker, you don't like school water?
Go again. Go, boys. Go, buddy.
All right, welcome to day 2 of the 2025 National Collegiate Rugby Championship. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday morning. Charlie Morris, Chris Daly, my partner, and Chris, we're sorry to bring this game to you a little late. We missed the first few minutes due to technical difficulties, but Indiana's got a 7-0 lead, and it's a player that you rave about a lot, Luke Peters, getting the first try of the day.
Yeah, Luke Peters out on the far flank of the pitch. He was able to retrieve the ball. That one, Charlie. Nice little play from the Hoosiers. Couple of quick offloads. They strike their second early on in this one.
Yeah, make it 12-0 Indiana in this plate bracket. game between the Hoosiers and the Adrian Bulldogs. The winner goes on to play the winner of our next game, which is between Notre Dame and AIC, as you get another look at Owen Welburn's dash to the tri-zone. So 12-0 and now 14-0 Indiana after a successful conversion. It'll be Notre Dame AIC after this, where the winners will play each other in a battle for 13th place on the line, and then the losers will play for 15th place. So still in the top half, Chris. Again, all the teams that four teams you'll see today, they all won their first game, immediately placing them in the top 50%, which is a very respectable place.
Yeah, 100%. And all these teams have unlucky. We were talking about before we came on air. Just every single team, especially here, Adrian and Indiana, two really strong teams who lost close games. You look at Adrian, they had a very tightly contested loss to Clemson, another one to Iowa Central. Meanwhile, for Indiana, they lost 7-0 to Dartmouth and 19-15 to Marion. Two close one-possession games.
Yeah, both these teams 1 and 2 coming into today. It's Indiana with the hot start. They might get another one here along the right side, dashing towards the flag. And another try for Indiana. Maybe Will Keeler out on the wing. A late first half score, again, another look.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting this. It is very slippery. It was raining all night. Some mist in the morning today. Ball slips out of the hands of Adrian. And Indiana is able to trot to the tri-zone.
It's
a little
Joseph
bit of a
Reese,
score.
Excuse me, the sophomore. Number 21, not number 23. So Reese is on for the third different try score of the game for Indiana. Tough conversion kick coming. It's going to bend to the left. So it stays 19-0, and what a start for Indiana as they look to salvage a few more games this weekend.
I think the most impressive part of this start is we haven't seen a whole lot of Parker Wall. He's right near us here in our makeshift press box. He is one of Indiana's star players. His brother was actually one of the best players in Hoosiers history. He played at this very tournament. He's part of an Indiana legacy. And to not have to use Parker Wall and still be up by 3 scores is not too shabby.
Halftime whistle blows after one final kick, and we will head to the break with a 19-0 Indiana lead in our first game of the day. We got a lot of action coming up, so stay with us on the Rugby Network. Ready for this here of our first game of the day. Charlie Morris, Chris Daly, my partner. Thanks for joining us this Saturday morning, day 2 of the 2025 National Collegiate Rugby Championship weekend in sevens. And Chris, Got a couple men's games to start today, but I would argue the highlight of the day is the beginning of the women's tournament today, which is our third game and beyond.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that. Lots of great teams in town. We got defending national champions, Claremont Colleges. We'll be them a little later in the afternoon, but also tons of other teams, especially looking forward to, of course, Notre Dame. We haven't announced Notre Dame women's, only men's. Meanwhile, looks like Luke Peters, Charlie, might get his second of the day.
Might get flagged for the knock. Ball is bouncing around. We got a try scored by Adrian. Bulldogs getting on the board. Exactly what they needed at the beginning of the half. And we got a yellow card.
Yeah, a bit of a spin slide right there. You're talking in the first half just about how wet it is outside. The Bears too. Just drenched and playing factor in the Euros. Now in the second half has not changed a bit.
It's Peters who scores for Indiana. 2 minutes with the yellow. It was a penalty try awarded to Adrian, so they get the full 7 without even needing to kick. So all of a sudden, just a 12-point game in the first minute of this second half. Bulldogs looking to mount the comeback.
Should note, speaking of Mother Nature, wind is not a factor like it was yesterday.
More of a rain/slippery, as it was raining overnight. It's expected to continue to precipitate throughout the day as the Hoosiers may be getting one shorthanded. What a run. More than half the field and diving for the score. What a response for Indiana.
There's another one of Indiana's stars coming up big. Tommy Hannon rocking a mustache, which we haven't seen throughout this season. He's not sporting a bit of a different look. Gonna take another peep at it here. Dummy able to split the two Adrian defenders because of it. Tommy Hannon extends this Indiana lead. They strike right back. Impressive play from the senior captain on the Hoosiers team.
Especially doing it, teams playing shorthanded, as it looked like the Adrian defenders just weren't expecting it. So 26-7. Indiana once again up by 3 scores. The clock ticks to 4:30 to go in the half. And with Indiana taking their time, Peters is already getting set to get back into the game. Only a few seconds left on his yellow card, which is his team has been positive in. See if Adrian can respond one more time here. Try to get back in it before it's too late. We're gonna try to kick it up in the air. Nearly recovered, but good defense. Indiana forces the takeaway. Offload, here's Parker Wall. As you alluded to, Chris.
Took 3 guys to take him down, Charlie.
Very aggressive defense right now. A couple of the coaches on the Adrian sideline trying to will their team on. A lot of confusion over here at the scores table. Both teams trying to make substitutions.
Yeah, a lot of confusion.
A lot of bodies in our way as well.
Adrian just confused on who they're taking out, I believe, but figuring it out. They got to move quickly because the time does not stop for them, Charlie. It's the one thing they can't make more of, or can't really pause, matter of fact.
Continues to tick away. So finally, it's all sorted out. We're going to get a scrum favoring the Hoosiers. So they look to move to 2-2 on the weekend. Coming up after this, American International Yellow Jackets, Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Both teams playing their 4th game as well of the weekend. And then we get into the women's Division I bracket, Boise State and Purdue, our first game, and as Chris mentioned, down the line You got Claremont, who are two-time defending champions at the Division I club level. They'll be taking on Central Florida. And 3 more subs for Indiana, looking to slow the pace, under 2 to play.
Smart move here by the Hoosiers. Should take their time jogging out. Tactical substitution from Indiana. And Tommy Hannon checking out of the game. What a legacy he has forged at Indiana. Talked briefly earlier about Parker Wall. He had a brother at Indiana who played. Well, so did Hannon. He's part of a nice Hoosiers rugby legacy as well.
26-7 the score. Adrian looking to make it
Liking
happen.
this.
I like what I'm seeing as well. Tried to kick forward by Tajay Miles, but he's going to have to bring it all the way back.
I saw Wheeling do that on the premier, or should I say, stadium field earlier. Well, earlier as in yesterday, Charlie. But that's always a good play. Sevens, just a heads-up high rugby IQ type of play. Of course, doesn't work out. Advantage for the Hoosiers.
Oh, now he makes a great tackle. Tajay Miles playing with his heart out right now. Like his heart out, I guess, would be a less gory image.
What a fierce tackle by Miles. And it's low too, so just exquisite form. And a guy like that, when you're making tackles like that, Charlie, you inspire the rest of your team to keep fighting. I mean, 20 seconds left. Adrian seemed just about out of it now, but it's something like that just provides a little bit of life at the end of this game. As they had 5 collective somersaults.
Yeah, that was pretty
scrum.
crazy. Miles is going to take it, try to down it and roll away. Just barely does. Dangerous where the ball is. Indiana might have it. Have to not get it, though, to avoid the penalty. We'll see if Adrian can score on their final possession, as it's Bautista Rodriguez-Robledo tackled into touch. And ref blows his final whistle. That's going to do it. Indiana, our first winners of the day. They're 2-2 on the weekend. They'll have a chance to play for 13th. The Adrian Bulldogs fall. 26-7, they'll play for 15th. And that's the best they can do. Team shake hands, and we'll get a quick break. When we come back, we'll get AIC and Notre Dame. Stay with us. Second game of the day in the plate division in a battle for a 13th place spot for whoever wins their next two. We just saw Indiana come away with a victory over Adrian to get to that consolation game, and send the Bulldogs down to the 15th place game. And now we've got Notre Dame Fighting Irish, Chris, the team we've been commentating all year, taking on the AIC Yellow Jackets, who were a 3 seed. Both these teams were 3 seeds and just fell short in their second round games and also in their third round games. So we'll have to see what their kind of response is. What do you know? What do you got?
Yeah, so of course we know a thing or two about Notre Dame because we've seen a thing or two related to Notre Dame. They lost to Mary Washington, a bit of a heartbreaker. They started with their substitutes yesterday on this very field. Lots of confusion about what field they were going to be playing on. A couple of perhaps questionable calls. I know Notre Dame wasn't too happy after that game with how it ended up, but regardless, 24-21, they dropped that game to Mary Washington. They also lost to a very potent Brown squad, and Brown just one of the most talented teams here in Boyd's, Maryland. Zach Banton on the ball right now, an electric player. Meanwhile, for AIC, well, they have a couple of international players. One of them coming from New Zealand, Philemon Manu, one of their best players, and he's a guy to watch out for them, 15 in black and yellow.
Yeah, we saw him on this field once yesterday, and I was equally impressed with Philemon Manu, as you were the fullback sophomore.
He's a 2-time All-American. He's only 5'9", Charlie, but the guy is just like a building block. I mean, he's so tough to take down, and he's a big reason why AIC has had so much success in sevens these past 2 seasons. Would also like to note that their head coach, Charlie, Coach Fletcher, first ever female to take over for a men's Division I program at a national event. And she did so a couple of years ago in 2019, but here again, so great story on the sidelines for AIC.
And led them to a fantastic season in sevens as well. The AIC Yellow Jackets ending up coming into today ranked number 25 on Rugby Hawk. Notre Dame at 26, so we got a treat for you. It's the Irish who've had possession basically the whole game, but have also basically gone backwards the whole game. See if they can try to figure that out. AIC's defense making it extremely difficult to do so.
They're going to have to try to bait AIC towards the middle of the park and then find Zach Banton out wide. You want to get him. You want to get Banton isolated, but you said it. What a tackle. The issue was he didn't go down with him. Just slammed him to the ground. So going to remain Notre Dame ball.
And we got AIC in the black, Notre Dame in the navy. So quite a jersey clash as a handshake between Thomas Bowman for the Irish and Leo Kamia Schaff, New Zealander, as you mentioned, from AIC. And Schaff looks like he's going to come off, though, with a potential card. Yes, here he comes jogging to the sideline.
Yeah, on those
center.
On those tackles, you yourself, the tackler, also has to go down with the person they tackle. And on that one, Schaff did not.
Notre Dame still, though, moving backwards. It's only a matter of time, it feels like, before AIC forces a turnover. And there it is, spinning away. What a play. And a shorthanded try for Demetrius Tape, the first score of the game.
Charlie, you said it. It was only a matter of time. Philip Guinan goes down for Notre Dame, and he's trying to release a big hit. Who else but Manu with the hit? And then Tape. They're such an electric duo. Look at him dive into the middle. Always fun to watch Tape and Manu, both getting it done on offense and defense.
Successful conversion as well by German Rossi, makes it 7-0. So Notre Dame with the whole possession for the first bit, but AIC, relentless defense, even playing with only 6. Now we'll make a very receivable kick. Patrick McKenzie will corral it for Notre Dame. See if the Irish can get the offense cooking. After a very slow start for them, Bowman hit hard, but just gets it away in time. Here's Banton on the wing with the angle, and he's gonna go. And Notre Dame's best player responds. Take his time downing and try to catch his breath. There it is. And Zach Banton is on the board once again, Chris.
Yeah, Zach Banton is a guy who is just a difference maker for this Notre Dame team. Every time he's out there, you can expect to get Notre Dame to get him the ball. It's exactly what they do. It's what they try to do. They always try to find him out on the wing. And when they can successfully, when they can get him in situations where it's one-on-one, well, Zach Banton hasn't ever met a foot race that he hasn't liked. He loves it. He loves to get in those sprints, and no one can catch him. Zach Banton saying, "Catch me if you can," as he hits the try zone.
Here's Patrick Jennings, or it was Bowman to Jennings, and then to Banton on the setup and the game-tying try and conversion for the Irish. So now we'll have a scrum after the kickoff late in this first half. Yellow Jackets will feed it through. Think about a kick ahead, but we're going to be patient with it. German Rossi very close to the touchline, just gets it off. We got a high, some sort of tackling fraction against Notre Dame. I don't think it was a high tackle, but something. It's going to go against the Irish. And so, ball's loose, though. They dive for it. Notre Dame's got it.
Great play from the All-American Tom Bowman, guy who picked up rugby his freshman year. He's a sophomore now. He's an All-American. What an athletic guy. Showcasing it on that play.
Notre Dame bench loves it. So Philip Guinan will get the offense back going. Patrick McKenzie into a wall of multiple, trying to roll away in time, and just does. Here is Jennings. Nice tackle around his ankles. Slow to get up. Dangerous pass taken the other way. And home free with no one in front of him for the Yellow Jackets. Philemon Manu gives them the lead.
Manu was the guy who caused the first try with a great defensive effort. And now the roles are a bit reversed. Tape with a nice tackle, and then Manu, right place, right time. It's as easy as you like. Mistake from Notre Dame. Falls right into the hands of AIC's most talented player.
So 14-7, Yellow Jackets in front. That seemingly came out of nowhere. Notre Dame with possession in control, and all of a sudden give it away. High kick, dangerous one, right by the 10 line. McKenzie picks it up in stride. He's gonna try to burst through. Trying to go to the ground and unable to release. Great defense, and they turn it to offense. Pass off, spinning around with the ball is Tyler Cathers. Now he gives it away. Jennings with some room, a lot of room. Banton even some more, but it's going to skip away from him. He's going to have to juggle it. Somehow not a knock-on. The ball was bouncing around in the ground. Potential last play of the half for both of these teams. Here's Bowman. Bowman overhanded pass, finds Patrick McKenzie. Breaks one tackle, gives it to Zach Banton. Contained on the side, tries to kick it ahead, and then is taken down. Good looking defense once again for the Yellow Jackets, and they're going to try to turn it the other way with Terry Jayaguru. Jayaguru is going to be stopped as the referees confer here at the concluding moments of the first half. Conversation along the far side. It's going to involve number 15 in black, Manu, the last try scorer. He's going to get directions from the field referee.
It was a foul. Zach Banton with some fancy footwork tough guy to take down, and wonder, they have him in the center of the pitch now. Gotta find him.
Here he is. Breaks one hip, but runs right into another. Another tackling penalty, though. So Guinan's going to tap and go from midfield. And he gives it off. What a matchup we're seeing here between two very evenly matched teams. There's Banton nifting through, slicing his way, staying on his feet. And he's got his second of the game.
Some pain afterwards for Zach Banton. Let's take another look at this. This was seriously impressive. Zach Banton, the footwork, second to none. 1, 2, 3, 4 Yellow Jackets in his area. Make it 5 with Tape. Banton able to stay on his feet. You could put that one on the highlight reel if you're Zach Banton. Fantastic individual effort to end the half and bring Notre Dame a little closer to the Yellow Jackets.
Conversation continuing between referee and one of the AIC players. Got the yellow card in his hand. Maybe a late foul. Either way, we'll get you covered on what's happened at halftime when we come back. It's a tie score at the break. And we're back for the second half. Charlie Morris, Chris Daly with you this morning. Thanks for joining us on the Rugby Network. If you've been with us since the start of the morning, you saw the Indiana Hoosiers defeat the Adrian Bulldogs in our first game of the day in the men's Premier Plate bracket, which is what we are in right now. And Hoosiers advance to the better round of the consolation semifinals. Notre Dame and AIC, the two teams on the field right now, both looking to do the same. Tie score after 7 minutes. AIC very undisciplined, I would say, throughout this first half. A lot of penalties called on them.
Yeah, a lot of penalties, but you could say a bit of the same for Notre Dame. I saw two really ugly-looking offloads, to be quite frank, Charlie. One of them led directly to AIC's second try of the day. So both teams need to play a little cleaner. Talked about it before. Weather, of course, playing a factor. Oh, my goodness! Patrick McKenzie with a stiff arm and a half.
Another penalty against the AIC as they continue to struggle to stay disciplined. Here's Banton with it, limping up to the first half. Somehow still on his feet. Finally dragged down from behind. And just to put the ball down and gets a little bit of protection from his teammate Andrew Packard. Banton still down, writhing in pain on the near side. Trying to get back to his feet. Saw him limp at the end of the first half. He's looking over to the Notre Dame bench. And Will Linky's going to come in for the Irish.
Two freshmen. Banton with a great performance and frustrated to come off for an injury.
So Notre Dame loses 10 of their 14 points in the game. And it's a line out upcoming. German Rossi, fly half, is going to maybe throw it in, maybe not. Not quite sure. Setup doesn't look to be quite right yet. Now he gets it in and gets it back, and maybe room to run for Rossi down the middle. Tries to find teammates with the dummy offload. Then he finds a man. Great pass, another one out to the wing. Oh, but the ball's free. No try scored.
Great moment for Will Linky. Comes into the game 15 seconds later. Huge play on the defensive front for Notre Dame. Prevents a try, but they're going to have to do it again, the Irish.
They certainly are. Another penalty against Notre Dame. Tap and go from about the 5. Referee might blow it back. A little bit of conversation between two players is unhappy for AIC is Tape. Maybe a scrum upcoming here for AIC, and another Notre Dame player down. Is Bowman slow to get up? Training staff once again on high alert. Notre Dame trying to pick up a key defensive stand. Here comes Matt Williams. Feeling like he's going to enter the game as Bowman rises on his own, but right to the sidelines. 2 injuries in the last couple minutes for Notre Dame. They're back in play.
The Irish have to watch out wide. They're outnumbered towards far side of the pitch.
Certainly are. Diving score and a celebration to boot for Schaff. Gets AIC out in front in the final 3 minutes plus.
Well, Notre Dame had 2 great defensive stops right within that 5-meter line. But the third time is the charm for the Yellow Jackets. Schaff was wide open, nice dummy, faked it, going out to his winger, decided to put it back inside, and that'll also be helpful for AIC with this upcoming conversion kick, which is up and through, Charlie. Impressive kick.
I think he missed.
Oh.
Looked good, had the leg for sure, but it looked like he was wide to the left.
That is an optical illusion then from this angle I'm sitting at. Wasn't really looking at those referees, which maybe would have been helpful.
I don't even look at the ball anymore. I just look at the refs' flags and see what's going on. So we thought Bowman was hurt. Maybe he is, but what is definitely sure is that he has received a yellow card. So he's sitting next to us. And Notre Dame playing with 6 temporarily. Matt Williams not yet in the game for the Irish. We'll see if they can pick up a game-tying score while shorthanded, and Jackson Graham being chased by 3 black jerseys. Can he get there? Graham is weaving, spinning, ball's free. He keeps it though. Got a play to keep it temporarily, but now it's knocked on. And oh, so close for Jackson Graham, but what track down defense. Tyler Cathers caught up and made the tackle. Here's another look.
Great overlap by Jackson Graham, comes inside. Nobody can catch him, or so he thought. Turns his head back. I think, Charlie, of course, it's great to turn your head back. You can see who's behind you, but you just got to have that 6th sense almost. Once you turn your head back, to slow yourself down a little. And gave Cathers that chance to catch up to Graham.
Dangerous scrum, ball still free. And it's going to be Notre Dame taking over. Packard's going to go quick, gives it off McKenzie, drops it. AIC trying to move the other way with advantage. On the right side, room near the wing. McKenzie has to make a tackle. All still in possession of the Flames. Now it's dropped.
Great tackle by McKenzie.
Advantage.
McKenzie's on fire after that knock-on.
Spinning around is Andrew LaFranchi. Tap and go for the Irish. Outside the 22, McKenzie out wing. Trying to get through. Tackled by his ankles. Final 20 seconds. We're in the home stretch. And a knock-on against Notre Dame will give AIC possession of the ball. Substitution for Notre Dame. Yellow cards over. Bowman is no longer in the sin bin, but there's a substitution. Matt Williams will now enter. With time expiring on the Irish. AIC looking to just bleed the rest of the official clock and end this one with a 19-14 lead.
I wonder if the officials' clocks are different than ours, though, because of the injuries.
Notre Dame's got it off the scrum, though. It'll be another scrum for AIC. And a substitution for the Yellow Jackets. Joe Roberts enters, number 19 in black. Likely a defensive move.
Yeah, Cathers to come off. Cathers made a great defensive stop on Jackson Graham. This game could have looked a lot different if it weren't for him. Good shift from number 14.
No matter which time is right, certainly has seemed to have been 7 minutes. Here come the Yellow Jackets along the near side. Pass out to the wing, and tiptoeing the sideline and going to go is David Eppinger. And that's going to seal it. Big win for the AIC Yellow Jackets. It was David Eppinger with the exclamation point.
That was a fun game. We said it, these teams are neck and neck in the Rugby Hawk rankings. It's exactly what we were expecting. That's exactly what we got. At the end of the day, it did come down to defense. Thought AIC was just a little bit stronger than the Irish in this one defensively. Were able to hold on. And then when they got their chances, took full advantage. Some great offloads out wide, perfectly timed, sets up Eppinger just with one man to beat. And that's exactly what he did. The cherry on top for this one. Great 2 games to start our day, Charlie, but now we're going to move on to some women's action. And I'm very excited for this. We got the Purdue Boilermakers, one of the top women's teams in the country. It's going to be a fun one here on Field 12.
Yeah, the Boilermakers and Boise State when we return the start of the women's bracket here on day 2. And the women's bracket is officially underway with the first kick of the game. And we are excited to bring you a string of 8 consecutive women's Division I club first round games. Chris and I will be on the call for 7 of them before handing it off to Abby and Jeremy, who were with you guys for the most part yesterday. We are extremely pleased as this Division I round gets underway. As Chris mentioned at the end of last game, it's Boise State and Purdue starting us off. UMass and Arizona State to follow. And Chris, you really like Purdue's team out here.
Well, there's a reason why they're one of the 2 number 1 seeds in the country. They won their own annual tournament, the Trainwreck Sevens. Also won over in Michigan. This is their first appearance at the CRCs, and they're the number 1 seed. I just love the story of that. They come in and They have just been playing great all year long, well-deserved, and they're going to have a well-deserved try as well to open this one up, showing why they are that top seed.
Yeah, Bailey Barton just did it herself. Number 15 in white. Great speed and got it back to as close to the middle as she could. So a good start for Purdue, the number 1 team in their region, as you mentioned. It doesn't get much quicker than that.
No, and it's Bailey Barton, one of their superstars. She was first team all Big Ten back in the fall during the 15 season. Been equally impressive here in the spring. Good job also coming towards the middle of the try zone to give her a shot, her team a better shot on that conversion kick.
So far on this Field 12, on this stream of the Rugby Network, we've only seen the men's premier division, which had 32 teams. The only division in action this weekend with 32 teams, this women's Division I club bracket, one of the many that has just 16. And so we're right into the first round. After this, you got quarters, the semis, and the championships. So you only need first to 4 wins, Chris. That's what it's down to, and Purdue looking to be that team.
And they got a great shot at it, but this is considerably the toughest bracket to win. Alex Goff was talking about that. He's a great college rugby journalist. The Goff Rugby Report, of course, synonymous with college rugby. He said this exact bracket is the most competitive. All these teams are the most even, and it's going to be really fun to watch.
Yeah, just looking at some notes that you had made, Chris, and not to steal your thunder, but I'm going to point it out because you've got a bunch of different teams in contention. Northeastern a favorite. Claremont College is back-to-back defending champions. They're going to be good. Purdue in here as the number 1 seed. Arizona State and UMass, who will see both of them in just a couple minutes or hours here today on this channel. Very much dark horse candidates. Colorado State could do it too. A lot of teams in contention.
Yeah, a lot of teams, and it's just about who plays the best rugby today. It sounds very simple, but they're all really talented. So whatever you did to get here doesn't really matter anymore. It's all about today and tomorrow. What can you do? And we're going to see who is playing their top rugby at the right time, because that is exactly what it comes down to.
So Arizona State and UMass is actually the next game matching up in the 4-5, and that's going to be a good one between the Minute Women and the Sun Devils. Right now it's Purdue and Boise State, and a little bit of trouble on the line out for the Broncos. They're going to have to retreat.
Sun Devils are my pick to actually win it all. I think beating Claremont Colleges just gave them a great confidence boost. They come in with some great wins recently, and I've been super impressed with their resume so far this year. But as I said, Charlie, it doesn't really matter about the resume.
Yeah, it's all about who gets hot at the right time. It's a race to 4 wins now. So for those viewers watching, or like myself, and we're wondering, how is women's rugby different from men's rugby? And in the rule book, it's the exact same. It's unlike sports like lacrosse, which are very different rule books. This is got the same rules, same scoring, same penalties, all of that. It's just, Chris, a little bit different strategy, a little bit more speed, a little bit more tactics in the women's game.
Yeah, 100%. And been impressed with Purdue so far. Some great offloads and some great runs from the players not on the ball. Very active. All the girls who are out of the play, moving around, and it creates for a nice fluid offense for the Boilermakers.
So it'll be another scrum. Still just 5-0 Purdue. Under 2 to play in the first half. And this is the first of 8 round of 32 games in the Women's Division I Cup bracket. Purdue with that lead on the try by Bailey Barton.
It's been a slow game for the last 2 minutes,
Certainly
Charlie.
has
A lot of scrums and just breakages in the passages of play here.
Another stoppage. This one against Boise State. Purdue's going to get the tap and go. There's an offload to a rumbling Tiara Mason, and Mason's going to go pretty far. Another whistle. Boise State very, very disciplined right now. And so Purdue will move it quickly. Nice tackle there, however. There's Barton, pass to the wing, Tessa Weisgerber, and Weisgerber is gonna get the wing. And she's gonna reach the try zone and double the Purdue lead.
Great speed of play from Purdue. Some nice offloads. It all starts right here. You mentioned it, Barton. Great offload, knows exactly what she's gonna do when she gets on the ball. And that's the main difference right now between these two teams. Purdue just a little bit quicker when they retrieve the ball offensively.
Now a 10-0 lead. And that will take us to halftime. All Purdue early. Looking to advance to the quarterfinals. See if they can hang on in half two. playing that whole time without us. Okay. Thank you. We're ready to come back, by the way. (17-5) Purdue in the lead. It's been quite a day on day 2. Just our 3rd game, but already a lot going on. And we're just getting started in the women's bracket with Boise State upset Hunting, and charging ahead is Allison Franzschak.
Charlie was impressed with Purdue's Tessa Weisengerber with another try in the second half. She had one in the first as well, though this one evaded about 3 defenders. Very impressive play to make this game 17-5, and that was after Boise State put some points on the board as well.
We were out for a couple seconds there as we deal with some technical difficulties. Not great Wi-Fi here court side, but here's a nice run by Bailey Barton looking for her 2nd try of the game. And Barton is and do just that to extend the Boilermakers lead.
Bailey Barton is one of the best players in the country. There's a reason why Purdue is the #1 seed. They have a few of those dynamos on the pitch who can just change a game, and Barton is just at the forefront of that group. The senior, experienced rugby player doesn't take this opportunity for granted. It's been really fun to watch her in this one, and what a game she's been having to start out.
So her and Weisgerber now both with multiple tries in the game for the Boilermakers as they make a substitution. Lucy Benedict heads in, and the Broncos will also make a movement. Brianna Fry coming in, number 7, the center, is going to enter for the Broncos, who were very much in this game when it was 10-5, but since then Purdue has been dominant. They just made the first conversion kick on their 3rd try as well.
It's tough for Boise State. Purdue has played a lot of teams who are in this tournament, whether in this division or another one throughout the year. Boise State, not really. It's tough being in Idaho. Position throughout the year. Regardless, though, showing some fight. They've had some flashes, including that early try here in the second half.
Purdue looking to add on even more. Here's Weisgerber, one more, hunting it inside and dodging a couple hits before trying to find Weisgerber back is Alita Fisher.
that work? Looks like it worked. Yeah.
Ready for game number 4 of the day, game number 2 in the Women's Division I Cup bracket. Arizona State and UMass, the 4-5 matchup, with a trip to the quarterfinals and a date with Purdue on the line. It'll be the Minute Women kicking it off first. Two of these teams, very strong contenders despite their ranking. And certainly, whoever wins will be giving Purdue a little bit of a tougher time than Boise State did in that first game.
Yeah, it's going to be an uphill challenge for either of these teams, but you are right, Charlie. Arizona State is one of the favorites to win it all. UMass also a very formidable opponent, and I liked what I saw out of Boise State in terms of the fight, but it's just so hard to go against that Purdue team. They offload at just such a high efficiency, and the way they move the ball is really to be admired and appreciated by every other program here. They should come down and watch Purdue. They're a great example of how to play rugby the right way.
Arizona State's going to get the edge right away. And moving towards the tri-zone, Naomi Steitzel trying to get there, and she will for the long try run to open the score. 45 seconds in for the junior. And the Sun Devils, with the sun not shining, are on the board first.
Some tough play here from Arizona State just to maintain the ball. UMass has 5 players all within that same area. Leave Steitzel wide open out there on the wing, and you can't leave her open. She is way too fast, way too good to be left unmarked. Takes full advantage of the free space. And Arizona State's got a 7-0 lead. Also would like to mention, Charlie, that Arizona State competes in the Pacific Desert Rugby Conference, and they are a team who are favorites because of the fact they beat Claremont Colleges, the defending national champions in conference play this year. Very impressive win for them.
Looking like it early on. Let's see if the Minute Women have a response after getting basically punched in the mouth just 45 seconds in.
They got some good ball movement to start.
I have to agree with you. They're moving it well. Another pass to avoid a tackle into touch. That one's free though. Dangerously bouncing over on the far side. Still no signal from the ref. Now it's called against Arizona State. Sun Devils in front, 7-0, but UMass with possession. And they're going to kick it for a line-out, not a surprising play. And in the men's game, you see a bit more of the tap and go, try to go quick. In the women's game, a lot more of a slower pace, try to use tactical maneuver set plays and go from there. And that's what UMass is going to go for right at about midfield. Ball bounces out of bounds. Not sure who off who. Looks like off Arizona State last. As the rain begins to come down just a little bit here in Boyd's, Maryland. Rained throughout last night. The field was wet this morning, and it certainly doesn't look like that's going to change. And you know, if you had to say, how do you think a wetter field and these rainy conditions affects gameplay?
Oh, big time. We saw it in the first 3 games we've announced, especially with the offloads. Just tough to maintain the ball. Creates for a few more knock-ons than you would usually see. Although I will say this ball is very, very grippy. So I think it should hang on for the most part throughout the day. That's why you got the best rugby balls in college rugby. And look at this, Charlie.
Here she goes again. Steitzel, number 2 of the game with a foot first slide. Behind the play, a bloody nose for to make it 14-0, and Naomi Steitzel's got the 2 tries for the Sun Devils right now.
Steitzel has dominated. It's been left open 2 times, 2 windows, jumps right through them both.
Takayoshi kicks it off. Riko Takayoshi. Global manager for Arizona State out of Tokyo, Japan. Nice kick, but recovered well by the men and women, and maybe they get the edge. Oh, even better defensive play. Tackle into touch. And Arizona State once again with the ball. Conversation between the line judge and the main referee trying to figure out maybe not rolling away call. Arizona State coach knows it's a penalty.
Trying to relay her message to the team, but unfortunately the team is 60 meters away. I don't think they can hear. Arizona State punched their ticket to this very game, this very tournament, way back in October. That's the difference with the East and West Coast. Qualifying times are a lot different. They've been waiting a while for this opportunity, Charlie, and they got a healthy lead now as half is just about to draw to a close.
Sun Devils. Here's the tap and go in the middle of the pitch. Nice run ahead and then passed off to Alyssa Ryan. Ryan just gets it off, finds a teammate, Emma Cullen, finds another, and here's Rebecca Chiaffi. Julia Donnellan, tackled down, right back to Cullen, and Cullen maybe bursting free, gets back to her feet. Can't do that. That's going to go against her. And a good stop for the Sun Devils defense. Maybe the ball dropped, referee signaling for a knock-on as well. UMass playing with 6 right now. Sarah Brookman sitting next to us, the flanker. Grad student got a yellow card. Just a couple seconds left on that one. And that continues to tick down as we're past 7 minutes, but still waiting for that halftime whistle. Ball's free, picked up by the Minutewomen. What a big score for them to end the half. More than 8 minutes in to a 7-minute half. And it looks like it's going to be Shelby Ball who does the honors.
Yeah, Shelby Ball is pumped up. Look at her celebration after that one. We're going to take another look at it. It's the scrum. UMass just totally flip it, and that's the weather playing a factor. Shelby Ball right there, able to follow up on the play. Arizona State just let the ball slip right out of their hands, and makes sense with how hard this rain is now pouring down. But the Sun Devils will keep their lead heading into the half.
14-5 after the missed conversion. Can UMass build on that? We'll see in the second half of this round of 32-16 matchup. to be able to hang these Sun Devils early, but that is exactly what they are doing. Now playing with advantage after the knock-on on the kickoff. Referee will bring it back.
Well, UMass has definitely played in a climate similar to this before, being in Amherst, Massachusetts, that New England area, Charlie. It can get a little ugly at times weather-wise. Meanwhile, Arizona State, well, it is beautiful out in Tempe, Arizona. You don't see weather like this too often. More scorching hot, humid weather that they play in. So that could definitely play a factor in how this game is totally flipped around. It was all Arizona State for those first 6.5 minutes or so.
Yeah, right now in Boise, Maryland, 67 degrees, so temperate, but raining, cloudy, a lot of bugs. Not exactly Arizona State weather. Here come the Minutewomen again. Cullen looking for her second. Gives it off, breaking a tackle, and breaking another one, diving for the line, and there's the go-ahead score. 15 unanswered points. Sarah Brookman puts UMass in front.
Yet again, Sarah Brookman with a great effort, shedding not one, not two, but 3 tackles en route to the try. It's a tough play right there. Engages the core, able to keep her head forward, eyes on the prize. She finds her way to the try zone, and Arizona State now has a lot of questions to answer. Backs are against the wall. This is a team who are one of the favorites coming into this tournament. And here they are down with just a few minutes left.
One-point lead for the Minutewomen. 15 unanswered points, all since the clock hit 0 at the end of the first half.
Well, yet again, still for Arizona State. It's been an issue. I haven't seen it too much with UMass, though, Charlie.
And they're hanging on to it well. 3 for a minute. It was a good tackle by just recently into the game in white, Lily Morrison. She came on as one of the 2 substitutions Arizona State has made in this half. Eliana Mullenix also in. But right now, we're not getting really a chance to talk about them because it's all UMass. There's a good tackle. Jillian Lux made that one. Another penalty against the Sun Devils. Chance for insurance for UMass. And they're going to try to go out wide with Brookman again. And she's tackled into touch. What a play. Just before she could get to the promised land.
Well, UMass were a finalist for this very prize back in 2023. However, this is a much different squad. It's so close right there. Arizona State hanging on by a thread of a needle. This lineout is going to be integral to how the rest of this game plays out.
Penalty is going against Arizona State. So the integral knock-on, as you mentioned, not executed well, and with time dwindling in half number 2, chance for insurance. Only a 1-point lead for the Minutewomen as it stands. With the way Arizona State can strike quick and kick. Want to have more lead than just one. Kick towards the touchline. Is that it? Yes, it is. What a comeback for UMass, and look at the celebration from the players and the bench. 15 straight points, the biggest comeback we've seen on this field in this tournament.
Charlie, I am grinning ear to ear. What a comeback, and what a story for this UMass team. Arizona State were definitely the favorites heading into this game. UMass battled bloody noses, and they're yelling at us in the press box. They are excited. They are pumped up. And they are moving on to the next round. Just treated to a fantastic game of rugby and 2 very different games. It was all Arizona State in that first half. UMass finally found something at the end. And then from there, they just dominated that second half. It was all UMass.
What a win for the Minute Women. They are moving on to the quarterfinals to play Purdue this afternoon. Coming up after a very short break, Florida State, Boston College, a little ACC-esque showdown. Bring you that shortly. College on the right in the black and red. Nice looking uniforms for them. Florida State in the more traditional maroon, trying to find their way into the next round. Our third game of the Women's Division I Club bracket. Charlie Morris, Chris Daly with you this morning. And Chris, what a game. And what a play here for Florida State right away off the opening possession for them. And it's Emmy Menegany. And she's going to go in the first minute.
I believe it was Mackenzie Gorton, Charlie.
I think you're right.
For Florida State. And that's exactly who it was, number 24. But you were right, Charlie. Impressive start, and we've been just absolutely treated. I am delighted with how this day has turned out so far. This could have been a terrible day. It's raining, of course. Now, there are some Wi-Fi issues, sure, but the rugby has just been superb. Fantastic start. That Notre Dame game was really thrilling. They lost to AIC in a really fun game, mutual respect between both sides. And then the Purdue game for women's rugby, another good one. But what about last game, Charlie? Oh my goodness.
Referee came over to us after the game and was like, hey, did I get a good enough match for you? And like, next time we want overtime. I feel like that's the only thing that could possibly top what we just saw between UMass and Arizona State.
And Arizona State, a team who I had said earlier in the broadcast are one of my favorite picks to win it all, upset by UMass, a team who has had great success in the past. They made it to the national championship in 2023, but fell short. Of course, complexity of the roster, a lot different now, a lot of younger players out there. They made a strong statement in game one.
And almost Gorton was free again off a nice pass by Jessica Rosenblum. But Boston College gets the stop. You know, Chris, for my second ever game calling women's rugby, that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was pretty freaking good. Not bad at all.
So now the third one. This is also in the Women's Division I Club Cup bracket. Florida State, Boston College will play the winner of our next game, Iowa and Baylor.
Dangerous shove out of bounds. Gorton. Boston College, and Eagles aren't too pleased with that.
16 teams in this Division I Club bracket. Battling it out for the right to play on Sunday at 4 p.m. in the stadium. This round and the quarterfinals taking place at this field on this stream. If you win twice, you get a chance to play at the stadium field on Sunday in the morning in the semifinals. And if you win that, you get a finals berth that afternoon. If you win that, you're the champions, Chris.
There you go.
Both these teams on the field right now. Boston College, Florida State, looking to get there. All the teams in this bracket, all the teams in every bracket except for the men's premier division. Whoever goes 4-0 is the champion. Only one can do it, though.
Yeah, Boston College has played some good teams on the year, Charlie. They played UMass, Northeastern, Rhode Island, UConn, and Boston University. That's their conference makeup out in the Northeast. All really good programs. You just saw it with UMass, of course. But Northeastern, the reigning and the national champions.
Right now, the Eagles struggling to even move it past their own 22-meter line. Dangerous tackle is nearly losing the ball. It was Daisy Palacio. Another good tackle is Emma Callahan didn't find any room. Now the ball being held up. It's going to be a turnover. Florida State moved quick, playing with advantage. Right there in the corner, inside the 5. Looking to do it with power right now, but what a tackle. Loss of ground. Florida State trying to get it back. Couple passes. They're going to get it over. Gordon's going to give it up. Trying to get the edge is Emma Gooding. And Gooding has doubled the lead. Conversion kick is short, so it stays 10-0. We just got a little bit of a seat upgrade ourselves here,
not
field
bad.
side.
Shout out to the NCR referees helping us out. And Charlie, I don't know what I just missed. You blink and you miss a try apparently, but
Emily
Florida
Gooding
State
got in for Florida State, their second score of the half, Chris, and it was off a
at First Ruck, a popular sevens tournament that is an NCR qualifier, or CRC qualifier, should I say. And they came fourth this past weekend at the Tropical Sevens in Tampa. So they played a lot of rugby, not in this condition though. So impressive for them to come out in the pouring rain and get the job done so far.
And Gordon's going to try to get the edge again. She's wrapped up on a nice tackle by Grace Jacobs along the far side. Ball still alive for Florida State down near the flag. Can they get it down? Yes, they can. 15-0. It's all Seminoles right now.
Mackenzie Gorton has been involved in a lot of Florida State's success. Again, out there on the left wing, is able to find herself open, finds the pockets of space she needs to be in. And credit to Florida State for giving her the ball.
It was Gordon who had it there and then gave it off to a teammate. And it was ran in and down by Mia Fleck.
Yeah, a couple of quick offloads right there. The decisive one came from Eva Hark. And that'll do it for this first half, Charlie.
Pretty good first half for one side. It's 15-0 at the break. Stay with us.
Go, get
Hopefully you enjoyed that natural sound during the second half here, Florida State and Boston College. With the BC Eagles still not on the board. Florida State has in control. They scored 3 times. They're up 15-0. And now 20-0 after that most recent try. And we're going to get our final whistle. And that ends it and sends Florida State to the next round. A big win for the Seminoles over their rival Boston College Eagles. And so that is to our next game. Baylor and Iowa will be with you when we return in the 4th of 8 round of 16 matchups. Fourth game, final game in the round of 16 on the east side of the 2025 Collegiate Rugby Championship Women Divisions I Club Cup bracket. And it's Iowa, it's Baylor, and it's going to be a good one. Both these teams absolutely fired up in their pregame huddles for this one. Iowa with one of the longer, cooler, and louder chants I have heard before a game. And they are fired up and ready to kick it away to the Bears as the referees get ready to go. And the assistant refs along the sides do as well. Thanks for joining us on the Rugby Network. My name's Charlie Morris. My partner is Chris Daly. And Chris, we've seen some pretty good action all day, starting with some men's consolation games and now into the women's Division I club bracket. It's been fun.
Yeah, it's been really fun, but you got to say the pinnacle of it all was that Arizona versus UMass game. Arizona State, excuse me. So fun. Arizona State had a 14-zip lead, and then UMass, next thing you know, they score 3 tries, no conversion kicks, but they win. 1-point victory for them, 15-14. That was an absolutely phenomenal match. One of the best rugby matches I have actually seen, and the energy from the Minutewomen after was palpable. But now we got a really good one. I'm looking forward to this Baylor versus Iowa game. 2 teams with a lot of history and both looking to make their name known here in 2025.
Good start for the Hawkeyes. Numbers out wide and splitting through the D for the first score. Elizabeth Langlaw. What a start for Iowa. That took just about 35 seconds to get them on the board.
We've seen a lot of quick starts today in these games. That's been the one common denominator amongst them all. As the kick, Charlie, is good, and we got a 7-0 game just about a minute in.
That's been a great start for Iowa. Yes, they kick it away, they get the ball, they force Baylor back. And it was Langlaw on the try. Randa Bassart on the conversion, 7-0 early on. This kick's gonna land in a little bit of no man's land. Trouble for the Bears, but saved by Caitlin Rainey. Now spinning away is Caroline Brower, gives it off. Chance to get to the wing. That's a good tackle as Megan Thamer couldn't get there. She was taken down right by us by Gillian McRae.
Yeah, this
play
is
the advantage.
not the start that Baylor was exactly hoping for. We'd like to see them get into their attacking half, and the biggest key to victory today, especially in these women's games, is just who can be more efficient with their passing. Sometimes in men's rugby, we just see one star player who can break for a couple of runs, and that's all they really need. It doesn't really matter about how many offloads they can complete, but women's, it's much more of a collective effort. And then sometimes you get a few breakthroughs like that, and you can't complain. It was Ruby Labo for Baylor.
Another one against Iowa. And, one thing is for sure is that from the women's games we've seen this morning, although it's team-oriented, when you give it to your best players, they are the ones who seem to do the scoring. And early on for Iowa, it was Elizabeth Langlaw.
We saw Mackenzie Gorton last game for Florida State, had herself a nice day.
Think about the 2 for Purdue, Bailey Barton.
Yeah, she was probably the best player we've seen so far individually.
And if not, it was her teammate Weisengerber, who was also fantastic.
Yeah, it was a fun game, and those two put on a show.
So a lot of good individual performances. And then if you think about UMass's big comeback, they got it done from a lot of different sources. And here go the Hawkeyes again. Grace Papson does the splits and gets the score. And it's 12-0 Hawkeyes.
Well, it's good to see Papson has a smile on her face after that one. That did not look too fun. It is nice and wet on the ground. She slipped and she split as she got into the try zone. But finds a wide open lane and nobody out wide for Baylor to cover her. Good try from Papson, utilizing her speed. And the Hawkeyes got that elusive 2-possession lead, Charlie.
Quick start for them. They're going to kick it away again. It's going to come right back to them as Baylor kicks it into the hands of Kiana Shevling-Major. Now she finds a teammate, Tabitha Keith. Keith high stepping, and she scores. And Iowa all over Baylor early on.
It all starts with that kick. It wasn't the prettiest kick I've seen, but it worked, and that's all that matters. And Iowa